Hey everyone, it's Gianna Lum at Convincing Crypto, where we keep you in the loop on all the latest trends and news in crypto and blockchain technology. Together, we are building a crypto movement that fights for climate justice and economic empowerment. So today, I want to talk about solving Bitcoin's energy problem. Some of you might have heard how energy intensive Bitcoin is, and my background is in climate science. So I really wanted to look at what the options were and if it were possible for Bitcoin to not be so energy intensive or operate in a way that didn't harm the environment. So first, we're going to talk about Bitcoin's climate impacts. Then we're going to go over how Bitcoin mining works. And lastly, we're going to talk about some possible solutions for making Bitcoin more climate friendly. So back in the day, back in 2009, when Bitcoin first started, people in the crypto space actually already knew how energy intensive Bitcoin was, and they were actually afraid of its climate impacts. Back in 2009, Hal Finney, he's a renowned early cryptographer, people who study blockchain technology, he tweeted, thinking about how to reduce CO2 emissions from a widespread Bitcoin implementation. So it's not like this was a surprise. People who were at it at the very, very beginning knew how large of an energy consumption problem this could be in the future. And yeah, if you've been in Bitcoin since 2009, let us know in the comments, what are you doing now with Bitcoin being at around 37,000 today? That's insane that it's gone up that much, but also with Bitcoin becoming more widespread and more people on it and more people in competition for mining Bitcoin, we're seeing a larger and larger energy problem. And I'll go into why Bitcoin uses so much energy. Today, since Bitcoin's so large, according to Digiconomist, they're a blog by Alex DeVries, a digital economist. Bitcoin's carbon footprint is the equivalent of that of Libya, the entire country of Libya. Its energy consumption is equivalent to that of Pakistan, and its e-waste equivalent, since it has to use special computers and mining equipment, the e-waste equivalent per year is that of the whole entire country of Luxembourg. So even if you do solve the energy efficiency problem, Bitcoin does have this issue of e-waste. Before I talk about solutions, if you're not familiar with how Bitcoin mining works, I want to go over a quick overview of that. The way it works is that there's a bunch of Bitcoin miners, so pretty much nerds on a computer. Love you guys. But yeah, people who mine Bitcoin are on a computer solving and verifying transactions by doing asymmetric puzzles. And they earn Bitcoin for the amount of work that they do. So inherently, Bitcoin is a very energy intensive cryptocurrency because the more energy they use, the more they are rewarded for Bitcoin. And also, the more competition that there is amongst miners who want to all solve the same puzzle, the more energy is required for that. So you might know about the Bitcoin halving, which is expected around spring 2024. But when that happens, Bitcoin is going to be twice as competitive to mine for, and therefore twice as energy intensive. So we've got to figure out, how do we solve this energy problem too? In December 2020, December 8th, Jack Dorsey of Square tweeted that he believed crypto would be completely powered by renewables globally someday. So he thought that renewables would be the solution and that we could remain on Bitcoin and operate as we are right now. He also said that Bitcoin already consumes a significant amount of clean energy. Keywords are already consumes a significant amount. Like, that's like saying, oh yeah, I already consume a significant amount of cauliflower pizza. Like, you still consumed a lot of pizza here today. Like, if you eat like 10 cauliflower pizzas, you're still eating 10 pizzas. Maybe it's not like, I don't even know, are cauliflower pizzas better for you? But that's kind of silly, I think. If you're still using significant amounts of energy, whether it's renewable energy or from fossil fuels. But I do know that Square recently committed to a 10 million investment in green energy tech. So they're working on something to make Bitcoin mining more sustainable, but whatever green energy tech means for Bitcoin mining, they're kind of vague about that. So if you know, please comment below what that means. But I wanted to also do some research of really what is happening with Bitcoin mining, where is it happening, and what are the sources right now so that we can solve this problem and close the gap where renewables are not being used right now. This paper right here, it's from the scientific journal Joule. It says that 2/3 of all Bitcoin mining happens in China, and in the areas where they mine for Bitcoin, in the provinces of Yunnan and Sichuan, it's about 80% hydropower. So that's great. There are some environmental impacts of hydro, but it's not as bad as like coal or natural gas. But there's also a lot of mining that happens in Inner Mongolia. It's about 58% coal and about 42% hydropower. So really in these areas where there's a lot of Bitcoin mining going on, they need to be able to power their data centers with more renewable sources or something that isn't as polluting and causing as much environmental degradation as something like coal. So there have been propositions for like having a carbon tax or trying to move countries that pollute a lot to pay for their emissions. But again, I think that renewable energy is not a permanent solution for supporting something like Bitcoin and something that's going to be double as energy intensive in the next like 3-ish years. So I think we need a faster solution for that. And I did the calculations of how many solar panels we would need if we were to have like 100% renewable Bitcoin network right away, like in the next 3 years. So we would need to power that 21.8 million solar panels. And to put that to scale, currently in the United States, there's 2 million solar installations. So we would have to have a bunch more, like about 10 times more solar than the whole country of the US has right now. And I think that could be possible, but the down part is that you would have a downtime when it's not sunny. The miners wouldn't be able to mine during the night. So there would be a different schedule of mining. Maybe that would slow down Bitcoin mining. And I think you would have to have wind power or some other source still if you want these data centers to be going on. And if people really wanted to be getting more Bitcoin, mining it 24/7. But also theoretically, you could also have 7 nuclear power plants to power Bitcoin mining. And I know nuclear is a really, really controversial source of power. My take, though, in my opinion, is we still currently need some nuclear power, the ones that are open right now, and we can't close them down right away. If we do, we're going to end up having to reopen some coal plants and other fossil fuels. So that's not ideal. I think there's a possibility for next generation nuclear to be safer and not harm the communities that live around them. So things like they've been tested. So things like Fukushima won't happen again. But I think politically it's really difficult, and having 7 nuclear power plants open around the world just to mine Bitcoin might be a little difficult. But I don't know, the crypto advocates and the nuclear activists, if you want to collaborate or something and make that possible, that would be one way theoretically to make sure that Bitcoin doesn't have as large climate impacts. Another solution, though, again, super theoretical, if this were to happen, is for surplus power for existing power plants to be used to power Bitcoin mining operations. And this was something proposed by an energy consulting company, Scott Madden. And they figured out that I think in 15 months, one power plant that had like one megawatt hour of energy in surplus could use that for a Bitcoin operation. And back then when they did their calculations, it was when Bitcoin was like at 9,000. But now that Bitcoin is at like around 37-ish thousand today, you could do that and the power plant could be profitable by building a data center in about 4 months. So if they collaborated, maybe with that additional power, you wouldn't have to even build new plants or build extra solar panels or wind farms. You could just use the existing ones if you somehow got the rights to use that extra energy for Bitcoin mining. So that's one possibility, but it would take some coordination. So we'll see what happens there. But whatever we do with Bitcoin, we have to remember that we need to move off of fossil fuels with whatever we're using to power it. Right now, about 63% of the global energy production in the world is from fossil fuels. And the UN, just in December 2020, did a report that governments need to reduce fossil fuel production by 6% per year to limit catastrophic global warming. So we really need to act fast. And I know if we're going to have that Bitcoin halving in 3 years, and we're going to have year is it this year? 2021. It's 2021. I feel like 2020 wasn't a year that didn't happen, but yeah, we have about 9 years to really act and reduce our emissions before we see significant amounts of warming and a point of no return. So I think that, yes, I think it is a good transition for us to look into ways for Bitcoin to be more sustainable. And a lot of people do rely on Bitcoin. There are other options. In my opinion, we should be moving more towards a proof of stake mechanism rather than proof of work. Something like a Cardano for one transaction of it is only the energy equivalent of a 3-minute shower. And there's also Algorand, that was our last video, which is pledging to be carbon negative. So there are other options, but I was talking with my partner at Convincing Crypto, Marco Santiago, that Bitcoin did pave the way still for all of these cryptos to be possible. So this video isn't to hate on Bitcoin, but it's more to show what the issues are and how we could theoretically solve it, this energy problem with alternative energy sources. But yeah, that's just my little analysis here today. Feel free to comment any questions you have below about climate or blockchain technology. If you're into renewables, or if you're a nuclear activist who wants to collaborate with people in crypto and you think Bitcoin mining could be powered by nuclear on a large scale, let me know. I think that something like that is happening already in Ukraine. I think by 2022, they're going to have a big data center for Bitcoin powered by a brand new nuclear plant. So something is happening over there. In the US, I don't really see a really large plant happening like that to power Bitcoin, but it's just theoretically that is something that could happen if you wanted Bitcoin to keep going on and not have all these climate impacts. But yeah, let us know any of your ideas too, if you know alternative solutions for Bitcoin to keep going on in a more energy efficient way. But here at Convincing Crypto, we're trying to build a crypto movement that fights for climate justice and economic empowerment. And we do want to find ways that are more equitable solutions, and people who live in communities where they would be affected by these power plants probably wouldn't want a mining center there. So yeah, there's pros and cons of everything. Let us know what you think, but we'd love to have you on our channel even if you want to discuss your ideas. And please support our channel if you like, subscribe if you would like to see more content like that. And we would like you to be part of this movement too, to reach out and just share your ideas. We love to collaborate. And yeah, thanks everyone. Have a good one.